Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to show you how I make my spinach and feta quiche. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this video and get started. So in a small mixing bowl, I'm going to start by combining a cup of flour, and then to the flour I'm going to add in about a teaspoon of salt. I just eyeball this, and this is a really simple pie crust recipe, so it's not too finicky. And then I'm going to go in with 3 tablespoons of butter. You can use frozen butter, that's what's traditionally used in pie crust. I'm using room temperature butter. I'm just going to cover it with the flour and then slowly chop it up with my fork until our flour represents a sandy texture. Now I have some ice cold water, and I'm going to add in about 3 tablespoons at a time and then combine it until we get sort of a shaggy looking dough. Here is how your dough should be looking like after you combine the water. And we're just going to set that aside so that we can flour our clean workspace. And then I'm just going to add all of the dough to that flour, and we are going to slowly work this dough until it is well combined, but we don't want to add in too much of the excess flour. And then I'm going to shape mine into a square because I want to roll this out into a square. I will be baking this in a square dish. So take a rolling pin. The best way to go about this is to flour your rolling pin so that your dough doesn't stick to it, as well as flouring your hands a bit. So I'm using a deeper rectangular cooking dish for this. I'm just going to roll my pie dough onto my rolling pin, and this is going to make it really easy to transfer it to the pie pan afterwards. So as you see, I'm just going to unroll it onto the pie pan, and then I'm going to work it so that it fits inside of the pan really nicely without the edges falling over. I will then go ahead and cut off any excess pie dough that might be spilling over the edge of the pan before moving on to making the filling. So for the filling, I'm going to go in with 1/3 cup of cream cheese, followed by 3 whole eggs. And then using a handheld mixer, I'm going to do my best not to make a mess and combine this all together. When I originally did this, I left the cream cheese in pea-sized pieces so that way it could have like these little creamy pieces throughout. But if I were to do it again, I would thoroughly combine it so that the egg mixture is really silky smooth and it makes for a really creamy finish. And then I just went ahead and added this to our pie crust. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in a layer of spinach, and the spinach just floats on top of the eggs, and it's going to look really pretty when you cut into it. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a layer of feta cheese over top of the spinach. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the top filling for our pie crust. So for this, I'm just going to use 4 whole eggs, a pinch of salt, as well as about 3 tablespoons of water. And again, I'm going to just use my handheld mixer to combine this, and then I will just add that to the top of our quiche. And then we're going to let this bake in our oven at about 375 for about 25 to 40 minutes. You want your eggs to be set, but for there to be just a little bit of a jiggle to it still, and that means it's nice and creamy. And then there you go. There is our finished quiche. I hope you guys liked this recipe. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel for new videos every Monday and Thursday. Like up this video and comment below for what you want to see me bake next. And until next time, guys, bye!